Yeah. Hi, this is Sean and Greene Gene. We're out here in Bluebird Canyon, and we just pulled off in one of these fields here. And Greene Gene is going to take us through. He's going to do some foraging here, and looking at different plants and weeds that you can eat. So
yeah, help us out here. We got invasive species that are very tasty, edible, and nutritious. I'm holding on to this mustard plant right here. These things come out really easy. Even when the ground gets hard, you just got to get a grip and they come straight out of the ground. In sandy soil, they come out real easy. You want to pull them out by the roots because they're invasive species. They can reseed and cover, yellow mountains when they're in flower. These leaves, you can steam them up and they're good. The younger leaves are the best leaves. All your edibles, the younger leaves are going to be the tastier ones. You buy mustard in the store. You buy mustard in seed packets. There's many varieties of mustard, but the ones that grow wild in Laguna are very plentiful, and they're free and they're highly nutritious, growing where they want to grow, in the soil they want to grow in. There's a big batch of them down here in the bottom of the hill, and boy, we could make a couple meals. So that's one of the mustards. Then what else do we have here? This is one that everybody knows about, sour grass. That has kids love to pick it because it tastes like lemon, and it has a leaf that looks like clover. The pioneers they made a rhubarb pie with the stems, and you can chew on these leaves. Now it has oxalic acid in it, and oxalic acid binds with calcium, and it can cause some problems. So you don't want to overdo it. I think when you cook it, it destroys that effect. So if you want to try and make a rhubarb pie with some of this, please invite me over. Okay, what else do we have here? We have these, we have some miniature sow thistles. A lot of people think we don't get too many dandelions in Laguna Beach. I saw one earlier today, just one. But the flower is bigger yellow, and the leaves look similar to a sow thistle leaf. Same shape, this one's a small one. We'll find some bigger ones in a little while, but I'm just standing right here, so I'm looking at the ones that are here. Let's, while we're here, what else is here? Let's, just for kicks, let's look at these grasses. These are like oats, wild oats right here. When they're ripened, this is a long, hard process, but conceivably you could harvest grass seed from a lot of grasses, and wild oats are one of the better ones. And there's some that are just not worth the trouble. They're so small and there's so few of them, but you could conceivably, if you were hungry and at the right time of year, you could harvest seed from grasses. It's been done by the Indians.
Try to keep them steady when you're moving all around them, jumping all around. So just hold it up like that.
Yeah. Get a good look at these.
Okay.
Yeah, these are oats. They're not very mature. They're very young, but they get fatter. If you can't find grasses with fat seeds on them, those are the kind of seeds that you can collect if you wanted. And if you're really hungry, pardon?
And then what do?
Well, I've never actually done it. I just know that it can be done.
Okay.
You would want it to dry it out, and then you could make flour out of it, and make like whatever you would do with flour.
Okay.
Oat flour in this case, or other kinds of grass flour. There's a lot of it, as you can see, so you can get quite a bit in any given place. Here's a healthy stand of mallows. In the last week, I've had a couple pots full of mallow leaves, or cheeseweed is an easier name. These leaves, the younger ones are the better. They're very tasty. You can eat them raw or you can steam them. And see, I made it with red pepper, garlic, and a little olive oil, and I crumbled up some walnuts, and everybody loved it. So that's the mallows right here. Now, when a mallow gets older, it has some seed pods that look like cheese rounds, and that's why this is also called cheeseweed. So try some mallows. Cool. And right here at the base of the mallow, this is called heronbill, or I'll go ahead and forage on this. This is heronbill. See the seed pods? Or storkbill, heronbill?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was named. Erodium, scientific name. These greens are great. Animals love them. It's a great forage plant for herbivores. People can eat them too. I haven't tried them yet, but well, I would try a little bit. Steam it up. It's not a flavor. You have to take some getting used to it probably.
Right.
But it isn't considered an edible forb. Okay, here's a plant called wild cucumber with these white flowers. It's actually a very attractive plant. Doesn't need to get water, and this is just the beginning. It dies back in the winter. But 9 months of the year, this plant is growing, and it's pretty, and it makes these seed pods that are really interesting seed pods. It's hard to describe. I wish I could show you an old one on here, but I don't think there is any. But they would make great Christmas ornaments. They're ready right around Christmas time. They're like a lantern. They're about as big as my fist, a big one. And they make you can make like a miniature loofah sponge out of it too, and scrub yourself with that. So you can make ornaments. You can make a loofah sponge. You can use it ornamentally. And I know there's some other factor. Well, besides the fact, oh, here's a baby one starting out, but this is very small. It's these bristly, prickly things. But when they draw, you can take the outer skin off of it, and then underneath it is this matrix. It's like a lantern. It has light passing through it, and if you put a little bulb in the inside of it and hang it in your Christmas tree, it would make nice patterns. It's a pretty neat plant. But I know there's some edible, something you can do. Maybe it's make a soap. Something I'm forgetting about this wild cucumber plant. Whether it's you can eat the flowers or the leaves or the buds or something. But it's a good plant to know about, wild cucumber. Don't eat the seeds though, they're hallucinogenic. There's more erodium in there, seed mixed in it. More oxalis, more wild cucumber, more grasses. Let's see, how about something we haven't seen? Here's something. This is a kind of a rangy looking lamb's quarters. It doesn't look very healthy, like it's getting chewed on a lot. I'm wondering if there's a healthier one. Well, let's look at these healthier sow thistles. Okay, we were talking about dandelions, or sow thistles. See, these leaves look a little better. When they start getting red in them, I don't think they're going to taste as good as the ones that don't have the red in them. So look, the ones that I've eaten that taste just like dandelions are very little red in the veins. They're mostly green. They just, actually, when they get older, they start getting red and they get bitter. This is a seasonal thing. This time of year, though, you can get a lot of fresh sow thistles still today. They're around. Like here's one. It's too close to the road, but you don't see too much red in it. A little bit. They're just starting to get a little old right now. Right here. Now, plants get older faster in the sun, so if you find a place that's in more shade, you're going to get fresher greens. There's some sow thistles down here. I wonder if... Yeah, okay. Well, look at some of these bigger, fresher, lusher looking leaves before they start getting kind of drawn out and red and stressed, a little stressed looking. Once they flower, they start losing flavor. So, like I said, these are a little bit past their prime stage, but you could eat them.
Yeah, why don't you talk about real quickly about the seasonality?
Well, this is early February, and depending when the rains come, it depends when you get all this green stuff you can eat. But if you come back here in excuse me, several months, you may find purslane. That's a really wonderful edible weed that's nowhere to be seen right now. But there's other things that are seasonal. Sometimes you want to wait for the seed pod, like on the mallows. They'll come in the summer. You can eat a lot of different seeds. So seeds are later in the year, greens are early in the year. And there's also fruits. Like down there in the field, at a distance, you can kind of see, it might be hard to focus on that, but it's lemonade berry bushes. Well, they get a nice berry you can make a nice, nutritious little tea out of. But right now, they're just flowers. So, you can go from greens to flower petals to seeds to fruits to seeds. So, yeah, it depends on the time of year what you're going to get. But definitely, we all need to eat more greens. Greens is probably the main thing that people lack in their diet is greens. So, chlorophyll, that's what we're missing the most. So this is a good time of year to really do some supplemental superfood.
Great.
And there's another term I was trying to think of. What's that term? Anyway, I want to find some other weeds for us to learn about too. I was hoping for some chickweed. I thought I saw a little piece of it. I don't see it right now. There's what else do we have? There's another lamb's quarters back here. It looks a little healthier. Kind of get to know this plant. Once again, this is getting to a stage where, it's not going to be as good if you would have picked it a little bit earlier, but it's still good. There's a lot of variety amongst these lamb's quarters. If you've tasted it once and you didn't like it, don't give up. Try it again on a different plant, because there's a lot of variations. but this one is just starting to go to seed. It's not as good, and there are many. Some of them have different names. There's so many varieties of it that they have different names, and some of the names have something to do with how it tastes.
Yeah.
Some are definitely much better than others. This one here, I can pretty much tell it's not going to taste as good as some other ones I found. But
well, I think that's great. I think we know we've identified 5 or 6 or 7 of the different things that you can eat, and I think
yeah,
that should do it.
Yeah, I didn't show you any chickweed, and we didn't look at the nasturtiums.
But those are some things that, this
Pretty common.